Wow, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. That's some good looking metamorphic rock. Well, hey everybody, Jeff Williams here with ShifWilliams.com. Yeah, I know what we're doing today. Well, first of all, I'm in a mountain chain that I did some research on that is known to produce gold on the southern end. I'm on the northern end, and there's a series of faults that run through here. And to the north of me, I have a lot of newer igneous volcanic rock up there, and it's produced a whole bunch of basalt and andesite, the usual. Then you got a series of faults through here, and I got this older basement rock that's been here forever, and it's gone through a lot of metamorphic changes. Well, I wanted you to see these changes because I think it's important as a prospector to know this. Remember I told you most of the gold I've ever found has been in metamorphic, then igneous, and then intrusion-related igneous with sedimentary. So here you can see all the, it's called gneiss. Some of it's granitic gneiss, where it's starting to undergo the changes, but you can see all the folding and all the foliation running through here. You see that? Isn't that beautiful? And then all these little tiny veins running through here are called Aplites. And all this happened over a period of millions of years. It didn't happen at one time. And I love looking at metamorphic rock because I can always find good gold at metamorphic rock. Now here you can see I've got Quartz Monzonite up there, and I'll show you this stuff later. And you can always tell when you're working with metamorphic rock because you got a lot of mica in it. There's only two types of metamorphic that don't have mica in it, and that would be marble and quartzite. Now you can see all the mica in here. And now the reason why I'm going over that is because mica can sometimes fool the newer prospectors. They'll look at mica and they'll say, oh, that's gold. No, that's mica. And I'm going to show you some examples. You got two different types of micas. Actually, you got a whole host of them, but the ones that we usually see out here is biotite, which is the really dark black stuff. And then you got muscovite, which is more of a tannish color. All right, so what did I want to show you over here? Now, you can see a lot of this granite. And over here, see how it's, you can actually see the defining line right here where this has started to undergo a lot of pressure and temperature changes. And it's actually turned into granitic gneiss. See that? All those lines of foliation in there, and each one of those lines has got mica in it. Remember, igneous, granite, made from fire, metamorphic, is just a rock that's undergone a lot of different changes because of heat and pressure. So that's why I always like dealing with metamorphic rock, because a lot of times when the rock has been altered like this, interesting things can happen. And a lot of that stuff can be gold. And that's what you should be looking for too. And also do your research too before you head on out. Make sure the area has known to produce gold. So, and then of course look at your geological maps. That'll tell you a lot too about different contact zones and the rock types. You got to learn how to read those geological maps. So anyway, so the reason why I brought you out here is there's this neat little wash over here that's got my attention. And I'll show you why. Come here, take a look at this. I don't know if you can see this, but I got tons and tons of black sand in this wash right here. I mean, I can literally see it. It's everywhere. And I followed this wash up, and all of a sudden, right here, it stops. Why? Because all this black sand's coming in from a feeder wash up here, a small tributary coming in. And so what you need to do is when you see that black sand, that's usually magnetite, hematite. Most of your heavies are in there. It doesn't necessarily mean that there is gold there, but it's really going to increase your chances when you start finding heavies like this. And that's what the old timers used to do. They'd walk around, see black sand in the washes, and then they'd try to follow it up to the source. So I walked up this way, and all of a sudden, boop, right here it stopped, and it's coming out of this small little feeder wash. So we're going to head up there and take a look. So come on, let's go. Okay, you see that? See where it's all black right there? Got a lot of black sand right here. See that? That's all black sand right there. I don't know if you can see that. And then right here it stops. No black sand at all coming from up in those mountains. So that means what? That means I got to start heading up this way. And that's where we're going. Ooh, look at that nice big chunky piece of quartz right there. Yeah. Now right here's a classic example of mica. You can see it all running in through there. See that? It's all nice and shiny. And people see that, especially if it's a brassy looking mica, and they think, oh, I got gold. No, you ain't got gold. That's just mica. Ooh, look at that. Wow. Look at that. I got mica everywhere. See that? And so a lot of this stuff is schist. You got a lot of mica schist up here. And that's a metamorphic rock too. Schist is. And then see, I got gneiss right here. See the bands in there? That's nice. That's real nice. Ooh, I like that schist. Now, why am I here? Look at this. Ah, I know, I got more schist. Look at that, I got schist everywhere. Okay, see all this black sand right here? This is on the inside bin. And look at this huge gravel bar right here. See this? When the water was flowing, the inside bin dumped all this because of the low pressure zone. And look at this, when you come over a little bit closer, what do you got? Black sand. This is nothing but solid black sand. If I was to do any prospecting, guess what? Be in this zone right here. Take my metal detector or dry pan or whatever. And speaking of dry pan, that's all I'm going to show you how to do today up here. I got a new technique. I think you're really going to like it. So, whoo, I'm excited. I love this type of geology. All right, let's head on up here so you know what I'm going to say, huh? Do you know what I'm going to say? So come on, let's go. Whoo-wee. This looks like a good spot right here. Look at that. Man, I got black sands everywhere. All right, so I got this nice chunk of granite. You see that? And you see the pink feldspars in there? Ooh, that's nice. And see all these cracks and crevices? This is a gneiss trap, and I can see chunky pieces of black sand. Chunky! All right, here's a big old piece of schist. See that? Mica schist. Anyway, this looks like a good trap. There's a little trap here and traps in the bedrock. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna collect it all up and I'm gonna show you how to dry pan, okay? Oh man, that looks really good. All right, take my canteen off. Whew. Take my canteen off. Make sure you got gloves. Ooh, look at that. Man, look at that chunk of iron. Wow. Wow, I can feel that whole thing moving. Wow, look at all those chunkies in there. Beautiful. Look at that. Should have brought my backpack, dang it. Where's my broom at? Get my broom at. You gotta have a good broom. Coming?
Go.
Woo-wee. All right. Oh, it's heavy. Leave my stuff up here. Okay. Now, earlier in the video, I told you I was going to show you how to dry pan, and that's what I'm going to do. Whew. Now, me and Slim made a video years ago on how to dry pan, and I'm going to leave a link down below so you can click on it and watch it, and it shows an older technique. It works really well, but it's an older technique of how to dry pan. Now, we came up with this new technique, and I don't think anybody else has got it because I've never seen it anywhere. And I'm going to show you how to do it, and it's really simple. And all you need is 2, maybe 3 items, and that would be a Garrett Super Sluice Gold Pan. You got to have Garrett Super Sluice. Yummy now. I can just taste it. And of course, 5-gallon bucket. And of course, you're probably going to have that anyway if you're out here sampling. So how does it work? Well, I should have classified, and that was the 3rd item you could have brought out here, but I didn't. And I'm going to show you that you can do it even without classifying. I know it sounds crazy, huh? But it does work. All right, first thing you do is stratify. Stratifying means you're going to get all your heavies to the bottom and all your big rocks to the top. All your heavies being your hematite and your magnetite and your garnet, stuff like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to shake it vigorously, just like you would be classifying. Just like that, okay? Now, as you're shaking it, I want you to tilt the pan forward. don't worry, this is all waste rock. It ain't no good, unless of course it's got quartz and gold string or specimens. You're gonna tilt it forward, just like this. And what I'm doing is I'm rocking everything to the front crease of the pan. Just like that. Now, here's the difference. You're gonna put the pan in the bucket at a 45-degree angle. Get this little guy here to right about there. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna rock it back and forth. All right, so what you wanna do is you wanna get the edge of the pan here, right here on the edge of the bucket. See that? And you're rocking it back and forth like this. See that? And as you tilt the pan down further, you're gonna bring the pan back here. See that? So you're gonna start off here, and you're back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And just this part right here is touching the side of the 5-gallon bucket. And I'm going to bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. So the edge is still there. Not this, not this, not this, but the edge right here. Just like this. See that? And it creates the vibration necessary to hold that gold, almost like you're trying to start a fire. I know, it looks crazy, huh? You're sliding over the top of the 5-gallon bucket. And that's what's causing friction and vibration. And if you wanted to, you could probably even notch your pan or your 5-gallon bucket to create more vibration. You just got a nice, easy rocking going back and forth. See that? Don't get all crazy with it. Don't try to make it shoot out across the top of the bucket. You just gently increase the tilt of the pan so you can watch it walking over the edge. Walking over the edge. See that? I'm gonna get that almost at a 90-degree angle. See that? I got one rock in there. Now, get that out of the way. I got one rock. I'm going to check that out real quick. I don't see nothing in that. I'll put them in there anyway. All right, now what you're going to do is you're going to walk the sand away from the heavies. And how do you do that? I'll see if I can get in the sun here for you. Is you're going to focus your attention here, not down here. Don't worry. If there's gold, it'll be there. Don't worry. You're going to focus here, and you're going to tap the back of the pan, make the sand walk up. You need to watch here so you can gauge on how much of an angle you need on that pan. See that? And see that sand walking up to the top? If I have too much of an angle, the whole thing will walk forward. If it's too steep, nothing will come up. See that? Those flies bite. Alright, that should be just about good. See how I'm gauging the angle? And I'm watching right here. Alright, that should be good enough. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to blow in the pan. And it'll blow everything away except for the gold, if there's any in there. Right there. One little tiny flake. I don't know if you can see it. I'll get my finger up in there. That's not too shabby. I got a bunch of heavies in there. And I'll probably pan those up later with some water. Ooh, that's a nice little flake. It's not that big. But now this technique don't work with fines because fines are really, really hard to dry pan. I wouldn't even recommend it. What I'd do is all this heavy stuff that's left, I'd bag it up and I'd take it somewhere that you got water and then I'd pan that out and then check it with a jeweler's loop to look for the fine gold. Anyway, so that's how you dry pan in the desert without any water. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. And if you have enjoyed today's episode, what am I going to say? Please rate with a big thumbs up, share with all your friends, and subscribe. because me and Slim love it when you do that. So anyway, till next time, this is Jeff Williams with thatchefwilliams.com saying, you want to be the man who can dry pan desert sand? Well, then you'll have gold in your hand when no one else can. Take care, everybody. I know, I bet you thought the video was over, but it's not. Okay, what did we do? Well, not far from where we were sampling, we scouted out around the area and we found the portal to this old adit. Now, I checked out all the USGS maps and Topo maps. I couldn't find this thing anywhere. And these are the ones I like the most because they don't get a lot of traffic. Now, you can see the old timber down in here. See that? Right here. And the pipes right there. And I got some really interesting geology going on here. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So come here, take a look at this. All right. See that all up on top? Now all that loose conglomerate that's washed down over the hills. Now if you look here, you can start to see a vein structure. See that? And there's my pick hammer for size comparison. Now you can see I've got a quartz vein here. I got fault gouge, few stringers, fault gouge, wall rock over here. See that wall rock right there? That's wall rock. That would be the foot wall. That would be the hanging wall because it's sitting at a slight angle, maybe about 85-degree angle. Anyway, so I've taken samples from the fault gouge, inside the vein material, some more fault gouge, vein material. Now when you're sampling, you need to isolate it in case you happen to have the gold inside of the wall rock or country rock. If you happen to have it in a breccia zone, I don't have a breccia zone here, but if there's a breccia zone, you need to sample that. And then you need to come over and sample the quartz vein if you have one. And then, of course, the hanging wall or the country rock. You need to keep those samples separate. And like I said, not always are you going to have gold in the quartz. Sometimes you're going to have it in the fault gouge or these outer seams that are on the outside. Because remember, these veins were laid down at different periods. And not all of them are going to have gold in it. So you need to sample individually. And make sure you keep them labeled, because if you find gold here and you don't find gold here, well, then you just want to mine this spot right here. You see that? So you can see that there's a distinct separation here on the country rock versus the vein material. See that? I'll see if I can't get my... And there's the adit right there. It's been filled in, and you can see where they've been following it right here. See that? So anyway, so we went ahead and pulled samples all the way across this thing. And like I said, that's the way you should do it too, is you're going to pull samples and make sure you keep them independent. Now you can do a chip sample or you can drill in and sample that way depending on how hard this stuff is. Now come here, take a look at this. I got something else over here. Really excited about. Look at this. See, I've got chunks of quartz vein. See that? That are disseminated throughout this rock. It almost looks like a laterite deposition. And then in here, more. It looks like saprolite decomposing bedrock. See that? Nice soft material. And it looks like I got a little limonite in there. So I'm going to sample that too. See that? That's some really good looking stuff. And like I said, oh, and see this? You can see somebody's been sampling right there. Chunk of quartz vein right there. See that? Chunk of quartz vein right there. See that? And like I said, gold's not always going to be in the milky white quartz. It could be on the outer edges of the vein in this area right here, which is maybe metamorphic rock, or maybe it's fault gouge, or maybe it was from a different time period when the quartz vein was laid down first or last, and then this next. So you need to sample individually. So don't put all your stock in quartz veins, because yeah, they can carry gold and sulfides, but it's been my experience, it's always the veins right next to them that carry the most values. Like right in here, this is where I'd be looking. And also look for breccias. Okay, breccias are rocks that have been altered and broken and then re-cemented together, and it's that fine ground mass in between the the really sharp angular fragments. That's where you're going to find your mineralization at. It's not going to be in the big white broken fragments of quartz. Go ahead and crush it all down, but the chances are, if you look closely with a jeweler's loupe, you're going to see that the gold is in the fine ground mass, because when the quartz was broken and altered, and then the hydrothermal fluids came in and then re-cemented it, it's going to be that fine ground mass that's going to have all your mineralization and gold and silver and things like that, especially in your epithermal deposits. Coming down the hill from that small mine, and there's a huge amount of quartz all over the place. Look at this. See that? There's a piece right there. There's a piece right there. See that? Piece right there. Piece right there. Right there. All right, so what does that mean? Well, they call that float. And basically float is quartz vein material that's broken off from the host vein somewhere up on a hill. And if there's mineralization or gold in it, that would be called an eluvial deposit. And then when it reaches a water course area down here below and gets washed away by monsoons or what have you, that would be a alluvial deposit. Yeah, I know. And it doesn't really matter. Just remember, if you got hillside deposits, it's going to be an eluvial. If it's going to be down in the washes or the water course areas, it's an alluvial. I know, crazy. But anyway, come on, take a look at this. I'm going to follow this float up. And this is what the old timers used to do to find deposits. Come here, take a look at this. We'll find it together, huh? All right, see that? I got some more float. And the float looks like it's getting more and more. See, there's pieces there and pieces there. There's another piece, and it's starting to get more and more. And look at that. There's a big piece. See, the pieces are getting bigger. There's my hand right there. And look at that. More and more quartz. Ooh, look at that. Another piece there. It's all over. And look at that. I think I see the vein. Look at this. It's all over the place. See that? There's a big chunker right there. Look at that. Oh. And now it's just everywhere. See that? That means that vein is, look at that. That's all quartz. That's all quartz. Now I don't see any mineralization in it, so I'm not getting super excited. So, oh, this is quartz, quartz, quartz. Coming up here on top. Quartz, I got some iron. And voila, here it is. This is the vein right here. I don't know if you can see it. See where it's protruding out? Right there. Now, I don't think there's anything in it because nobody's touched it. See, there's some more. This is the top of the vein right here. See that? There's a piece right there. And this is all part of the vein. See that outcropping? That's called an outcropping. All right, now if it had a whole bunch of reds or blacks or even some staining in it, I would dig it all up. I really don't see much of anything. And you can see where it broke off here and it's cascaded all the way down the hill. And that's why they call it float. You can see it. That's a beautiful view. But when you're out prospecting, that's what you should be looking for, is things like that. And like I said, I'm in an area that has produced gold, but everybody and their uncle's been over this. And like I said, the quartz is bleach white, and they used to call that bull quartz back in the day. So, but I don't think there's anything in it, and I'm not really going to check. So, but if I saw a lot of iron staining or reds or blacks in it, you know, heavily, I would definitely take a chip sample, take it back, crush it, screen it, and then pan it. And then that'll tell me if I got any mineralization in it and if there's any gold values or any metals whatsoever. So anyway, I wanted you to see that because that's important. I think you should know about what float and bull quartz and outcroppings look like. And that's a classic example. I didn't even expect to see it out here, but like I said, this is a known gold area, and the mountains that way to the southern end of this mountain chain have produced gold, and there's actually gold mines over there, and they're still in production, and there's a whole bunch of smaller mines that have been shut down, and some are just prospects and some aren't. If you go on the USGS reports and look up these mines, first you look up their name, and then you look up the mine and find out, what did they produce? Was it free mill? Was it a shallow prospect pit? And then you can go there yourself and then take a look around, pull samples, and see if it's worth it, because the miners might have stopped mining it if it was only maybe 3/4 ounce to the ton. Well, that's pretty good at today's market. I usually look for mines that produce 1 ounce or more per ton. That's good. If you can find old prospect pits or smaller mines, and then you can go in there, and if it's good, then you can file a claim on it and under casual use and go to town. It won't cost that much. Look at this. I wanted you to see this. Here's another one right here. See that? I don't know if you can see that. Another outcropping right there. There's some granite right there. I don't know if you can see that. And then that right there, nice outcropping of bull quartz, milky white quartz. But I don't think there's anything in it. So, all right, I'm gonna get on out of here because I got a long drive back to town. And starting to get dark out here. And you know what comes out at dark? That's right. Chomps. So anyway, whew, I hope you had fun with me. Sorry about the rough video. I'm kind of doing it on the fly because I'm way out here by myself. And I always take my camera with me in case I see something. So anyway, until next time, this is Jeff Williams with AskJeffWilliams.com, saying you want to find gold and you're not sure where to look, start doing your research and dig open that book. Take care, everybody. Now, before I get on out here, the sun's just about to drop behind that mountain. I got a couple patrons I got to say a big cowboy thank you to. Ready? Here it goes. I got Jason Higdon, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Gary Fairbrother, that's my brother. Gary Shelton, and yeah, Christopher Harrison, we got you in there too, so don't worry. Anyway, I'm gonna head on out of here. That sun's just about to drop, starting to get a little chilly out here. So I already said it, so I ain't gonna say it, but you know what? I'll say it again. So come on, let's go. Ah.